Good Monday morning, everybody. Oh, it's so good to be back. It's been a minute. It's been 4 months worth of minutes. I hope you guys are doing well. And it's been more than 4 months. It's been 4 months into 2023 since I've been here on Project Joy Live, and it's been longer than that since the last season. But can you believe that this is year 4 of Project Joy Live? I cannot believe that it's been that long, but I'm excited to be back with you today. If you are joining us live this morning, I would love for you to use the comment section. Things are a little bit different this morning. We're going to be talking about that coming up. We're going to be talking about where the hell have I been? What's going on? We're going to have those good vibe stories, and of course birthdays coming up as well. If you have had a birthday since the last time I've been on air, please let me know so that I can celebrate you when it comes to our birthday segment at the end of the show. But for those of you who might be new to me, my name is Jessica Dugas. I am the creator, producer, and host of the Breakthrough Show Network, and Project Joy Live began as a podcast. It was birthed back at the end of 2019, and I had this idea for like a quick morning goodness kind of podcast that I could put out, and I strategically did it on Monday mornings because so many people are like, oh, it's Monday, I got the Mondays, Monday sucks, blah blah blah, right? And so I really wanted to make it a point to have a good vibes kind of show coming at you on Monday mornings. And then over time, this show has kind of morphed into the live show that it is now. It's no longer a podcast. It is live. It is all over the place. And I'm excited to be back on with you Monday through Friday now at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Last time I was on, it was when I had just moved back here to Connecticut from Alabama, and it was interesting because it was such a huge transition type period for me. And so now back in rolling along, there's been a lot going on. So I'm going to be sharing about that as well. Other big change is that I'm only going to be here about 30, maybe 40 minutes. Y'all know how I can get long-winded, so maybe 40 minutes. So it's going to be quick rolling. It's really going to be that triple shot of good vibes for you to have starting out your weekday mornings, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Like I said, I want to head over to the comments section and see who's joining us today. Juju was she was in the front row. She got her tickets in advance, boys and girls. Good morning, Juju. It's so glad to have you back here this morning. I also saw in that second row seat, Jason's here this morning. Jason, it has been so long. I would love to hear what you've been up to. How has your 2023 been treating you so far? And are you excited to be back here Monday through Friday? Let me know. Who else we got? Divine DNA is joining us this morning. That's Miss Angelique, and her birthday was 3/26. And see, because I am on it, because you are in the inside circle, I already had your name down. I already had your name down on the paper, my friend. So good to see you guys this morning. Listen, if you are also here, say hello. Let us know where you're joining from. If you're new to the show, let me know that you're new. If you're back, if you've been here before, just let me know. Let me know that you are a veteran. Say veteran in the chat. Let me know that you are doing well, and let me know how your 2023 is treating you so far. I have a good news story I want to get to in just a few minutes. I have some national days to talk to you about today. It's a yummy day today, you guys. I'm gonna have to get those disclaimers rolling again to have your snack before you come watch the show. And what else we have going on? As I said, birthdays as well. But I want to start off with you guys for a little rewind, because some of you are aware that things have been a little bit crazy in Jessica land, and some of you are like, you have no idea. I'm new to you, so let me know what's going on. What are you talking about? So, as I said, we moved back to Connecticut back in July of 2022, and it's interesting because I had been in Alabama for the last 12 years. And while I feel like it was not the place for me, it also became kind of routine. It became a comfort without being comfortable. Does that make sense for everybody? Let me know if that makes sense for you. Just say make sense or what the hell are you talking about? Either one is fine. But so it was a comfort but not comfortable for me in Alabama. And so we had talked about for a long period of time moving back to where I grew up in Connecticut. It was kind of a dream of mine. And I'm going to get really real and raw and honest with you guys this morning, because that's what we do here on Project Joy Live. Okay. It is live, it is unscripted, it is unplanned. So this is where it gets interesting. But I had this vision, this idea, this picture of what moving back to Connecticut was supposed to look like for me. That word, that phrase, supposed to, how it gets you in trouble sometimes. Yeah. So that's where we be. And so I had this idea of what it was supposed to look like. And I have shared so many times on this show and other shows that I've been on that I am a very nostalgic person. I am someone that loves to reminisce. In that reminiscing, I love to find the lesson. I love to find what I could have done, and now we shift it. It's it's challenging for me at times to be as nostalgic as I am. There are times when I really believe it is a gift, and there are times when I'm sure that I leaned too much into that nostalgia. And that's been part of the challenge of moving back to Connecticut here, because it doesn't look at all like I thought it was going to look like. And part of that is that there have been some really, really hard and challenging life events that have happened for me. So I'm going to start this little segment asking the question, or sharing the question that people want to know. Were you joyful? Did you live up to the Queen of Joy name while all of that was going on? And Jessica, were you the Queen of Joy when the proverbial shit hit the fan? That's the question, right? And I'll get back to that question at the end of this little segment here. But in the meantime of coming up here, my husband lost his job not once, not twice, but 3 times. We had a crisis situation with one of our children. We had because of all of those things, we had shifts happening with work, and we had challenges happening with health, and we had financial challenges, and all of these different things come into play. In literally, we haven't even been here a year. Literally, let's see, July, let's count together. They're counting on like Sesame Street this morning. July, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. We just went into April. So we're looking at like around 9.5, 9 months or so. Okay. So it was hard. It's been hard. It continues to be really hard to go through all of these different challenges that we've been faced with. And I will tell you, being coined uh, the Queen of Joy, or even going back a minute to, you know, old programs that I used to run and branding and everything, being called the New Moon Mama, and really embracing that newness and change and challenge and joy. When you're going through something really hard, it is hard to look at yourself in that same way, and not just be like, well, that's a lie. Because the truth is that it's not a lie. I consider every single one of you that come and watch this show in the morning to be kings and queens of joy in whatever way, because you are making the choice to get up in the morning, plug in to something joyful, and that starts your vibe. That starts your day. I was listening to a Rampage this morning from Abraham Hicks, and I love the Good Morning Rampage, by the way. Go check that out on YouTube if you haven't listened to it. But I listen to that often, and then it went into another video about morning routine. And that's the number one thing that Abraham Hicks talks about is in your morning, is to start your day off in the vibe that you want your day to go. So some of you might be like, I spilt my coffee this morning, or I couldn't find my favorite shirt, or something bad happened this morning. The truth is that it started way before that. It started way before that. And it's not to say that those things aren't going to happen if you start a little meditation, or, get your gratitude practice going in the morning. But it's a lot easier to handle those things doing the upkeep, doing the self-care, taking care of yourself first, getting in the vibe that you want first, right? So doing those things is so important. So going back to my story of how everything was happening, if all that has happened with us in the last 9 months had happened to me 10 or 15 years ago, I'm not sure that I would be here to talk about it. I really am not sure. Not sure at all. And so I recognize that those tools that I have helped me to push through the challenging times and to thrive through change. Now, what does thriving look like? Thriving doesn't mean perfection. So for any of you that came here and thought that this morning, thriving does not mean perfection. To thrive means to be authentic to the moment. That's what it means to me, to be all in the moment, to do well in the moment. And sometimes doing well is a hard cry. Sometimes doing well is having a fit. Sometimes doing well is just leaning into the moment. So I recognize that all of these things, these tools that I've had, these practices of taking care of myself, are the reason I'm still here with you today. They're the reason that I've been able to get through this time. The last 9 months, there's been messy times. There have been hard, on the floor, having a fit, crying times. And there's perfection in all of that imperfection. There's perfection in the mess. There is perfection in everything that's been and everything that continues to be. And it's so hard to see that when it's challenging. when we're going through tough times, but I promise you that there's perfection in it. Because what will be will be. I lean into that sort of sentiment, and it doesn't make the challenging times easier, but it helps us to continue on, to push forward, to keep going. So I'm here, still the Queen of Joy, and now with all of these lessons and love and survival behind the challenges of the last 9 months. And even if I continue to go back, I bet I could go through, this is season 4 of Project Joy Live. I bet I could go back and find several episodes in the last 3 years where I was going through stuff then too. I've been very honest with you guys on this show when I'm going through something and saying, look, like it's a really hard time right now. And I survived all of those moments too. So when you're going through a hard time, the biggest joy message that I want to share with you this morning, when you're going through a hard time, is to remind you that you have survived everything that you've been through up until this point. So if you think you can't survive, if you think you can't do it, if you think you can't push on and move forward, you can, because you've done it every time up until this point. You are a survivor. You are a thriver. You are capable of thriving through any situation that is brought your way. You can do it. I promise you. And there's so much perfection in the imperfection, messiness, crying, screaming on the floor of it all. There's perfection in all of that. So I just want to encourage you with all of that this morning. And this is literally, I walk my talk. This is the way that I talk to myself every single day. Every single day. I might be crying, screaming through it, but this is the way I talk to myself every day. And it's necessary. It's necessary because being a human is a challenge. Being a human is hard from time to time, right? So you just have to choose. You have to choose to move forward, to push forward. Things are on the upswing with us here. To give you a little personal update, we have a little bit of a ways to go, but I'm doing it and reveling in the imperfection and hot mess that it is. Okay. I want to welcome Caroline this morning. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you're here today, and I hope you'll be joining us in the morning for this little triple shot, quick shot of espresso. It's going to be moving forward because we're only on for a little over a half an hour on Monday through Fridays now. Susan, it's so good to see you this morning. Thank you for being here, and I appreciate that. I try to be really honest with what's going on, and just because that's real life. It's real life. And for me, I appreciate you saying that I am brave. And for me, it just feel like it's being honest. And that's what I want to be with you guys. So also, I did see Donnell pop up. Good morning, Mr. Jackson. It's good to see you as well. And I'm glad you guys were saying what I was saying makes sense when I was talking about the difference between it being a comfort and comfortable. I appreciate that. Thank you, because I felt like I was maybe not making sense. I want to tell you guys a little story really quick. I have a story I want to tell you, a good news story. I have to talk about what's going on this day. And then also we have birthdays to do and whatnot at the end of the show as well. So we're going to take a really quick break. Get your snack before I tell you what National Day it is, okay? And we'll be right back after this. Breakthroughs are about more than you might think. They're about discovering who you are, digging deep, reaching to the core of your soul. They're about healing yourself, understanding your beliefs, creating a ripple effect, and it's not just those initial moments that matter. It's about using them to bring more joy into our own lives and the lives of others. It's about having fun, letting loose, enjoying every moment life has to offer. It's about finding a safe space. It's about creating connection. Join us each and every day for exclusive programming, special events, and a community to call home, where we invite you to explore, change the way you look at and live your life, and go beyond the breakthrough. So we ask you, are you ready? We'll see you online at thebreakthroughshow.com. Welcome back to Project Joy Live. It's the season 4 premiere today, and I am your host, Jessica Dugas. Super excited to be back with you every weekday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time. I want to tell you some good news today. So I've been looking up these articles about things that have happened recently, that are positive, good news, things that get us in a good vibe on your weekday morning. I found this story from today.com about a woman reuniting with her camera 13 years after losing it in a river. Now, if you let me know if you've ever if you've ever lost something, a physical something. Let me know if you've ever lost something and you still can't find it to this day. And it's something that really meant something to you, because this happened to me and I am still in the vibe. I don't know how of someday I'm going to find this thing. Okay. So let me know if you've ever lost something and don't know, it still feel like you can't find it. Okay. So an Arizona resident thought her digital camera was a goner until she saw photos from it on Facebook. Now, this is the moment, people, when I know many of us complain about some of the things with social media. This is how social media can be used positively. Okay. When Coral lost her digital camera in a Colorado river 13 years ago, she thought she'd never see it again. Little did she know that in 2023, she'd be reunited with her precious photos, all thanks to the actions of a complete stranger. In 2010, she embarked on a tubing trip down the Animas River with her friends who had recently tied the knot. During the excursion, she flipped out of her tube. She noticed too late that her camera was missing. She told today.com when she got to shore, the small cord that attached the camera to the lanyard and flotation device had broken. She was upset because obviously the camera's memory card held photos from her friend's wedding and bridal shower, but soon realized that the water was too deep. She couldn't fish it out. So she was real upset about it. Obviously, she was sad about losing the camera. She had pictures from a wedding, a road trip, all of this stuff, right? So flash forward several years, she had given up hope that she'd find, she'd ever see the camera, the pictures, or anything again. And there's a good Samaritan here, Spencer Greenier, his name is. In March 14th, he was fishing in the river when he suddenly discovered the camera rusted and weathered by the rapids. He plunged the memory card into the computer and realized somehow, you guys, the photos were preserved. It has been 13 years in the water, you guys, and the photos are okay. He said, I was shocked that I was able to read the SD card to begin with. When I saw that the pictures were from a wedding and bridal shower, I figured it was worth a go to try to find the owner, he told today.com. The Good Samaritan posted some of the recovered photos in a Durango, Colorado Facebook group on March 15th, when in an hour, the groom from the wedding commented on the post. He said, I couldn't believe that I was able to find someone in the photos so quickly. Is that not a wild story? It's been 15 years. Miracle number one, the camera was found. Okay, that's miracle number one in this story. Miracle number two, that SD card still worked. Okay, and miracle number three, the fact that he was able to post them online and within an hour found, so with all the people in the world, within an hour found somebody in those photos. Is that not a wild story? I saw that and I was like, I was thinking to myself about there's a couple things that I've lost over the years, and I'm like, oh, I'm never going to get those back. It'll never be anything I found. This has given me hope today. Okay. It has given me hope. Susan said, yes, I lost my wedding rings, found the engagement ring, but not the wedding band. This is your hope story, Susan. You never know. You never know what could happen. This could totally be a story like this. Yes, absolutely agree. An incredible story. Good morning, Frank. It is good to see you today. Glad to have you back here with us this morning. But that I was so inspired by this story. So if you've ever lost something, thought there's no hope in finding it, keep an eye out, because that's your good news story there. Okay, you guys. Listen, I want to tell you a little bit. I hope you took an opportunity on the break to have your snack, because we got to talk about this national day today. First of all, it is World Party Day. Anybody going to a party today? Anybody going to a party today? Anybody have any fun party stories to share? Frank knows I'm not talking about party time, because that was back in college and we don't talk about that on Project Joy Live. But let me know if do you consider yourself a partier? I don't anymore, because I have children and I'm tired. Okay. Also, here's what it is. I hope you guys had your snack. It is National Chocolate Mousse Day, boys and girls. My stomach, thank God my microphone is turned down today, because my stomach literally growled as soon as I said that. I'm not a huge chocolate fan. I like chocolate. It's not like my favorite thing, my favorite dessert on the planet, but I love some chocolate mousse. If I'm going to have something in chocolate, I think that I would prefer chocolate mousse over much else. Let me know if you guys like chocolate mousse. In addition, it is also National Film Score Day. Do you guys have a favorite film soundtrack? Let me know if you have a favorite film soundtrack. I love the Jurassic Park soundtrack. I have a special place in my heart for the Star Wars soundtrack, because we played it when I was in band in middle school. Loved the Star Wars soundtrack. I like the soundtrack, I think, more than I like the movies. What else? What other soundtracks? Harry Potter soundtrack. So good. And one of the symphony orchestras here in Connecticut, I'm praying I get to go see this, but they have events where you can go watch Harry Potter, but instead of hearing the music on the screen, it's a live symphony orchestra that plays the soundtrack of the movie. This is now on my bucket list of things to do, because I think that would be a wildly exciting experience. Something I really, really want to do in my life. So it's on my bucket list, you guys, and I will let you know if I end up doing it. But love those. Those are some of the film scores that stick out to me. Let's see. Angelique says Grease. Grease is a really good one. That's a good soundtrack. Boomerang, Waiting to Exhale, Above the Rim, Top Gun. I love that soundtrack as well. And Saturday Night Fever. Those are excellent choices. But yeah, so think about some of your favorite film scores today. And while you're watching your favorite film, I say get a cup of chocolate mousse, because it's that kind of day today. Okay. I know we also need to get Titanic. That's another good one as well, Susan. Yes. Let me know if any of you have any other favorite film scores or soundtracks. Twilight soundtrack. Frank, you surprised me. I did not expect you of all people to say Twilight, but here we are. Okay. Yes, that's a really good soundtrack as well. So let me know if any of you have favorite ones or well as well. We're going to take one more quick break and then we're going to come back with birthdays. And we're also going to talk about what else are we going to talk about? Oh, what's coming up on the Breakthrough Show Network, because we have 2 new premiere shows. And then I got to ask you if you've been watching Beyond 2D, because that show has been amazing so far. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after this, you guys.
I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart. I shall stand for love, for the world is wounded, not just my little piece of land, where I am mostly safe, where I am mostly well, but our world, everywhere, every day. I shall stand for love, because we need more light, not more death, not more power, not more bombs. I shall stand for love, so that our children are safe, so that our friends are sheltered, so that our borders are open. I shall stand for love, even with a broken soul, even with a heavy heart.
Welcome back to Project Joy Live. That was the We Shall Stand for Love poem by my good friend Dorothy Auger, who we lost last year. And we've been it's been so nice. I still wake up every morning at 7 a.m. Eastern time to read the poem with some good friends who also loved Dorothy. And I have to give a special personal shout out to Daria this morning, who sent me a couple copies of Dorothy's other books. And it was super nice. So I just want to say thank you so much. It meant a lot to me. Caroline said Gone with the Wind soundtrack. That's another good one. Jason, that is being updated. So later on in the week or next week, you guys will be able to hop on live with me during specific segments. Okay. So be on the lookout for that as well. But I will let you know when everything is done being updated. We have to talk about birthdays today. So in the celebrity world, there are 4 birthdays that I want to mention this morning. Amanda Bynes has a birthday today. You guys might know Amanda Bynes from several different movies. And also actor Eddie Murphy has a birthday today. Do you guys have a favorite Eddie Murphy movie? Let me know. Also, Marlon Brando, who we lost in 2004, had a birthday today. One of my favorite Marlon Brando roles was Sky Masterson in Guys and Dolls. Love some Marlon Brando. Also, Doris Day, who we lost in 2019, had a birthday today as well. She was one of my grandmother's favorite actresses. And in my personal world, couple of peeps had a birthday. David Platt has a birthday, and Kendra French. Happy birthday to you guys. And recent birthdays in the Breakthrough Show Network world, past panelist and guest Lori Ann Davis had a birthday, and Angelique Jackson, one half of the host of Divine DNA Wednesdays, second and fourth Wednesdays of the month at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Happy birthday to all of you. So we got to get our birthdays on. Okay, guys, are we ready? Ready? Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Amanda Bynes, Eddie Murphy, Marlon Brando, Doris Day, David Platt, Kendra French, Lori Ann Davis, and Angelique Jackson. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all those who celebrated and are celebrating. We celebrate with you. How many of you missed this good vibe music in the morning? Hello. As I was listening to the countdown coming in here, I'm like, this is what I missed. This is what I missed in my life. I'm over here having a whole groove. Listen, we have some new shows coming up this week on the Breakthrough Show Network, and we have a returning show. And I have to start by asking you guys this question. Have you been watching Beyond 2D with Ferran Dozier and myself? It premieres every second and fourth Tuesday of the month at 6 p.m. Eastern time. So where does Beyond 2D come from? Well, my last name is Dugas, Ferran's last name is Dozier, and you have two D's there. So we decided to do this show together to go down the rabbit hole of some different just thoughts, hot button topics, things like that, and try to get multidimensional to talk about all aspects of the conversation that we're embarking on. And we decided to start off the series with one hell of a doozy, which is communication. And highly recommend, if you missed the first two episodes, obviously you can go to thebreakthroughshow.com, thebreakthroughshownetwork.com, and check out Beyond 2D. The first two episodes are there. They're also available on our YouTube. But we've been having an incredible conversation. The first week we talked about the definition of communication. The second week we talk about responsibility in communication. Whose responsibility is it to initiate communications, to be mature in communication? I think you know what it comes back to, but I encourage you to watch anyway. Next episode, which is happening, we actually have the replay coming up tomorrow, but the next episode that is brand new is going to be on Tuesday the 11th, 6 p.m. Eastern time, and we've got two incredible guests on the show whose entire whose life work is about communication, and we're going to be diving in specifically to listening and communication. So it's going to be an amazing show. Again, that's the second and fourth Tuesdays of the month at 6 p.m. Eastern time. In addition, we have another favorite show coming back this coming Tuesday. That's tomorrow on the Breakthrough Show Network. We have Brunella Cozzagliola coming up on the new season 2 of My Way, Conversations with Entrepreneurs Doing Business Outside the Box. She is the military editor. She came here from Italy. She lives, I think, in Florida now, and we're going to be talking about how she's doing business her way, but she edits and puts out books for those people that have served in the military. So she has a really cool business and a really cool background, and I can't wait to hear from Brunella. It's going to be an amazing show. Also, we have another premiere show coming up on Thursday. The first and third Thursdays of the month at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Heather Clark, who you might remember, who has premiered on Project Joy. She has been a co-host on the Breakthrough Show before. She is going to be hosting her very own show, Declutter for Change Live. Mind, body, spirit, home, all of these things we're going to be working on decluttering together. And this is going to be a kind of a spin-off of her podcast, Declutter for Change. So it'll be a live format. You can ask your questions. I think she's starting off the series talking about what a lot of us are doing this time of year, which is spring cleaning. And you can ask all of your questions live, which is really exciting. So we're really thrilled for Heather Clark coming up on Thursdays, like I said, the first and third Thursdays of the month. So very, very exciting. Finally, we have one more show premiering for you guys that's going to be at 6 p.m. on Fridays, 6 p.m. on Friday. It's a new series presented by The Breakthrough Show. It's kind of in the trial phase right now. We're going to see how it goes, but it is called One. Each episode features one guest, one story, and one question. The question is always, how did that story impact who you are today? How has it made you who you are? The first story we're going to be telling is actually mine. And so I will be sharing that with you guys on Fridays, like I said, at 6 p.m. Eastern time. And then the following week, Brunella, that you'll see on My Way on Tuesday, is going to actually have her episode, and then followed by another familiar face to the Breakthrough Show Network, Steve Gamlin, the motivational firewood guy is going to be in 3 Fridays from now. So excited about the lineup of that. Let me know what you are most excited about, and I'll be excited to interact with you during those episodes. Yes, we have all kinds of celebration going on here. Also, Frank said the Footloose soundtrack. That's a really good soundtrack as well. Adam Duvall, good to see you. No stranger. I've been around on other shows, just finally back on Project Joy Live. So it's good to be back here with you guys in the mornings. As a reminder, we went a little bit over today because I had to tell you guys where the hell I've been. But we'll be back Monday through Friday from 8 to 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, only on the Breakthrough Show Network. And I'll be excited to give you that triple shot of good vibes that you guys need in the morning. I am so thankful for a moment of gratitude here to be back with you guys today. And again, going back to that message that I shared before, you guys can survive anything that comes your way because you've survived everything else up until this point. You are a survivor. You are capable of thriving, and you're also capable of finding joy in every moment of every day if you choose to do that. I'm your host, Jessica Dugas, and I want to remind you to make joy a priority in your life today and every day. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time. We'll see you soon, guys. Bye.